And that's our news. I'm Connie Chung for Dan Rather. I'll see you again tomorrow night. Thank you for joining us, and for all of us at CBS News, good night.
Experience CBS News.
When they saw this, they thought they'd lost everything to Hurricane Andrew, even those they loved.
We found her. We advertised in the newspaper.
Can't miss him. It's 1 ear up, 1 ear down. This is him. I can't believe it.
Looking for a reason to go on and finding it. Eye on America on the CBS Evening News tomorrow. This is CBS.
Next on News 4 Texas, picking up the pieces of storm debris scattered across North Texas.
The golden years turn into years of terror for thousands of elderly people.
A little boy mugged for his lunch money identifies his attacker.
And football season doesn't have to mean injuries. Plus, a Dallas police officer is injured in a struggle with a suspect. I'm Kimberly Kennedy.
And I'm Dale Shornack, in tonight for John Criswell. News 4 Texas at 6 is next.
A few words from Electric Avenue, Montgomery Ward.
Wow. Zowie. Gee. Whiz.
AT&T from Electric Avenue says it all. And right now, this AT&T cordless telephone 4320 is on sale for just $59.99. And this AT&T remote answering system 1306, $39.99 at Electric Avenue. Oh, and one last word about AT&T from Montgomery Ward, Electric Avenue. Hurry. Sale ends Saturday, September 5th.
Today, Eckerd Brand had a very busy day because today, about 562,000 people relied on Eckerd Brand products to make them feel better. How well did they work? Just listen. Eckerd Brand had a very busy week because 15 kids fell off the jungle gym and 12 skinned their knees. But thanks to Eckerd Brand first aid products, at least things look quiet.
News 4 Texas, your 24-hour news source, continues. This is News 4 Texas at 6.
These aren't pictures of Hurricane Andrew. This havoc was wreaked right here in the Metroplex by a thunderstorm that ripped across North Texas and tore off rooftops. We will get to that dramatic storm and another one that could be headed our way in just a moment. But first, this breaking story.
A Dallas police officer is in critical condition after being injured in a struggle with a man that he was trying to arrest. Barbara White is standing by live at Baylor Hospital with the latest. Barbara?
Dale, the officer, whose name has not been released, was not shot. He collapsed around 4:30 just south of Fair Park while apprehending a suspect. According to police, several officers approached a man in the 3500 block of Meadow Street after a resident reported that the man had a gun. Several officers approached the man. He ran a short distance and was apprehended. That's when the 25-year-old officer collapsed. This is how one witness describes what happened when the officers surrounded the man.
And when they handcuffed him, the other officer came up to, get him up and help the officer up. And when they got the officer, offered him to turn him over. And I guess they recognized that he had maybe passed out or something. And then by that time, they realized that I guess he was more than that. And that's when they opened his shirt up and started to get, popping his heart.
Police say the suspect, a juvenile, is in custody for unlawfully carrying a weapon. He was reportedly carrying a nickel-plated semi-automatic weapon. At this point, we're waiting for the family of the officer to arrive here at Baylor Hospital, and then we hope to know a little bit more about the man's identity and the officer's condition as well. Dale?
Okay, we'll have more tonight at 10 o'clock. Barbara White, live at Baylor Hospital.
Now, our second top story, violent weather and the damage it left behind.
News 4 Texas reporter Tim Ryan is live in Plano to show us what happened. Tim?
Well, everything's back to normal now. In fact, you'd never know this storm had roared through here. This storm didn't exactly rate a name like Hurricane Andrew, but for the people who did not sleep through it, it was an unforgettable night. The Davis family huddled inside their house for what they said seemed like hours.
I didn't feel confident at all. I was really scared. Like I said, I was the roaring, the windows busting out. It seemed like it lasted forever, but it was like only a few minutes.
In daylight, fences, shingles, and windows littered their property. At the McKinney Airport, 4 airplanes were flipped over and damaged by the high winds.
And at this Plano Middle School, what the teachers and parents and school board might consider bad news was great news if you're a kid.
There were a few windows blown out. All of your papers were scattered to the wind. Some of your quizzes were, I don't know if we can recoup them. We may have to go down and search through the dumpsters to see if we can find some of those.
The windows have been replaced, the mess has been cleaned up, and whether the kids like it or not, tomorrow it's back to normal at Hendrick Middle School in Plano. Kimberly and Dale.
All right, thanks. Tim Ryan live in Plano. And Mike Berger says that another storm may be headed our way. A first forecast is just ahead.
Well, we've done some checking, and if your home or business got hit in last night's storm, you shouldn't have any delay in getting your insurance money. State law allows insurance companies some leeway in paying claims when there's been a major weather-related problem, like last June's big hailstorm. But in most cases, state law requires companies to pay off legitimate claims within 30 days of filing.
Jury selection is underway in the trial of a man accused of killing Judith Ferguson, a Dallas teacher for the deaf. 29-year-old Ivory Lewis McMorris is accused of shooting Ferguson to death in her home on April 9th. A thumbprint found on a mug in the house led police to McMorris, who lives in the same neighborhood as Ferguson. If convicted, he could face the death penalty. Some elderly people face death sentences delivered by people who are supposed to be taking care of them. Sean Rabb reports child abuse is most often in the news, but elderly abuse is more common and more often deadly.
In Austin, a 41-year-old woman is charged with brutally beating her 67-year-old mother to death. A shovel, police say, is the murder weapon. While murder may be extreme, abuse of senior citizens certainly isn't. Elderly citizens experience it every day right here in the Metroplex. In fact, for many, their older years are anything but golden.
She started whamming me with it. She whammed me first over the head right there.
Harvey, who is blind, was pistol whipped by the person who was supposed to care for him. He says she attacked him with the jagged edge of a broken bottle.
And she broke it on the table. And she come back and she started jiggling me under the arm. She cut all up under that.
This type of abuse crosses all racial and socioeconomic lines. This year in Dallas County, more than 2,600 cases of elderly abuse have been reported, nearly 1,000 in Tarrant County.
Often elderly people tolerate the abuse rather than to consider alternative arrangements. That's their sole support. They don't want to go to nursing home.
Like Sally, 78 years old, she was sexually assaulted and beaten by her caretakers. She suffered a stroke and has difficulty speaking.
They hit me on the chest, and I told me that night he hit me on my bed on the parachute, and he yelled, "Not the hell are you? My dead baby." And I just cried all night.
Pain and tears Sally and others like her often endure in silence. Sean Rabb, News 4, Texas.
As with child abuse, there are state laws against abusing the elderly. If you know or suspect that someone is being abused, please call Adult Protective Services. The number is 800-252-5400.
An assault in West Dallas led to a 3-hour standoff before police stormed what turned out to be an empty home. Officers say Perry Trotter barged into the house, robbed a man, and savagely beat a woman with a shotgun. Witnesses say the screaming victim fled, believing the gunman was still in the house.
She rolled out of the house, and she said, "Somebody help me, help me." She had been taped up. She's beaten, big bruises out her head, and whoever cut her and put white tape around her.
Police stormed the home, but the suspect was gone. He was captured a few blocks away, still with the shotgun and lots of ammunition. The 20-year-old woman was treated and released at Parkland. In East Fort Worth, a burglary suspect is jailed with a gunshot wound to the hand. Investigators say a Meadowbrook area homeowner shot him as he tried to enter a house in the 2000 block of Edgewood Terrace. And a 14-year-old girl has been arrested for yesterday's attack on Benny Valentine. The third grader was mugged and robbed of his lunch money and books as he walked to school. Valentine picked the girl out of a police photo lineup today. He says she was a former student at his school.
A lawsuit between the City of Dallas and the Black Firefighters Association is heading to federal court. The Dallas City Council failed to vote on a revised settlement at last night's meeting, and today officials with the Firefighters Association say a federal judge will decide the issue on October 1st. The lawsuit alleges bias in hiring and promotion. Fair Park will be getting some repairs after all, despite voters' recent defeat of the half-cent sales tax proposal. Today, Dallas Mayor Steve Bartlett announced Phase 2 of a plan to restore the historic Food and Fiber Pavilion. It's a joint effort by the city, the State Department of Agriculture, and the private sector. Another joint effort is underway in Dallas, this one to help the homeless. Today, members of the newly formed African American Homeless Coalition toured the site of a proposed housing facility. The coalition hopes to turn these rundown apartments into transitional housing for up to 12 families. It's hoped that federal and city money will become available by the end of the year to begin work on the project.
Well, Mike Berger's already at work on a cloudy first forecast. Mike.
Hi, Kimberly. We do have a severe thunderstorm watch in effect, which does include the Metroplex until 11 o'clock tonight. So we're going to look for that thunderstorm watch. Some clouds remaining, especially at the south of us, and an overnight low of about 74 degrees. We'll be back with the forecast in just a few minutes.
All right, thanks, Mike. Still ahead, the weather makes no difference to one lucky Texan. We'll take our hats off to the latest millionaire.
And you better get swinging if you want to see Jose Canseco's first home game in Texas.
You're watching News 4 Texas at 6 with John Criswell, Kimberly Kennedy, Mike Berger's weather, and Ted Dawson on sports.
One of Texas' greatest pastimes can be a very dangerous sport. I'm Stephanie Lucero. Coming up, find out how to prepare for those injuries on the high school football field.
The feel of the road, the look of the sky, view of the world as it passes by, the motion of life, the joy of the ride. All this and the quality of a Mercury. All this and the quality of a Mercury.
Get no payments and no interest for 6 months. Now at Best Buy. On any total purchase of $250 or more. No payments and no interest for 6 months. This Thursday through Saturday.
High school football can be a dangerous game. Still ahead, how to protect your child and what to do if he does get injured.
Blockbuster Video has all the hot summer hits, more hot new releases, and more copies of them. Rock-a-Doodle with Glenn Campbell, Bates and Tandy in Fried Green Tomatoes, Woody Harrelson in White Men Can't Jump, Memoirs of an Invisible Man, Mike Myers in Wayne's World. Now rent any 3 videos from Blockbuster Video, and for a limited time, get a free Wayne's World Collector's Cup. Blockbuster Video's hot summer hits. Take them home and watch them tonight.
Winn-Dixie brings you Labor Day weekend savings on U.S. Choice whole beef brisket. Pay only 98 cents a pound. And don't miss our Thrifty Made canned goods sale, where whole tomatoes, green beans, and more are priced right at 3 cans for just $1. Treat yourself to a super low price on Dr. Pepper. 12 packs are 2 for $5 at Winn-Dixie. Save again on GE light bulbs, only $1.38 a 4-pack. At Winn-Dixie, American made, USA proud.
High school football, a top Texas pastime, but gridiron glory can tarnish quickly in the face of pain and injuries. The downside of the sport isn't one that players or proud parents like to think about.
But medical reporter Stephanie Lucero explains football injuries can often be prevented and recovered from quickly with the latest in medical technology.
It's shorts and helmets today, but tomorrow, North Dallas High kicks off its 1992 season against Bishop Dunn. One of Texas' greatest passions is about to commence.
Move your feet, move your feet, move your feet. Hold the block, hold the block, hold the block.
The National Athletic Trainers Association estimates 1 out of every 3 high school football players is sidelined by injuries every year. The Tom Landry Sports Medicine and Research Center in Dallas is the area's state-of-the-art facility for amateurs and the pros. Experts here say many football injuries occur because athletes fail to prepare for the heat or flex before taking the field.
A lot of the injuries that we see, like the pulled hamstrings and the pulled groin muscle or whatever it might be, are really as a result not so much of the contact that they might have incurred, but because they didn't properly stretch.
And a compensation injury occurs when an athlete uses a portion of his body in order to protect an area that's in pain.
But the big mistake is when they ignore it and try to be macho and go ahead and play through it, son, and walk that sprained ankle off when there might be a fracture.
During football season, the Landry Center offers a free clinic for high school athletes every Saturday. That way, after a Thursday or Friday night game, they can come here and properly learn how to take care of their injuries. In Dallas, Stephanie Lucero, News 4, Texas.
Experts say that proper treatment and rehabilitation can help an athlete get back onto the playing field as quickly as possible.
Good news. Well, fans better act quickly if they want to see Jose Canseco's first home game as a Texas Ranger. Monday night's game against the Boston Red Sox is nearly sold out. The game is an exceptionally big draw because in addition to Canseco, Nolan Ryan will be pitching against Roger Clemens.
My dad's coming to see Ryan and Clemens. I'm coming to see Canseco.
We got the seats right down there by right field, too, so we can go ahead and lean on him a little bit, let him know that he's in Texas now.
You can get tickets over the phone or at Arlington Stadium, but you better hurry. And in case you don't get the tickets you want, stay tuned to Channel 4 on Monday. We'll cover the fireworks in Arlington and the Cowboys season opener on Monday Night Football against the defending Super Bowl champs. We ought to go talk to our good friend Ted Dawson. He's got some pull for some tickets.
I'd have to talk to the news director, too, as I have to work that day.
Oh,
so
too bad.
Too many people to talk to. I'm afraid they all say no. Well, let's hope Mother Nature is a team player and has a good game plan for Monday night.
Right now, it looks like stormy weather may score some more hits. Mike Berger has details next.
Isn't it wonderful? A tire so special it may last as long as you own your car. The XH4. Congratulations, it's a Michelin. Backed by an 80,000-mile treadwear limited warranty. Michelin. Because so much is riding on your tires.
Don't miss Levitt's Labor Day weekend sale now through Tuesday. With bargains like Bassett Posture Rest Deluxe Bedding, any size, only $99 each piece. Only $99.
Full size.
Only $99.
Queen size.
Only $99.
King size.
Only $99. Or choose Bassett Cairo Regal Bedding, any size, only $149 each piece.
You love it at Levitt's.
Hi, everyone. A 20-degree spread in our high and low temperature today. 69 this morning, 89 this afternoon. Picked up a quarter of an inch of rain. It was kind of a wild night, especially if you lived around Sherman, Denison, and in Collin County last night. Rockwall and Kaufman counties as well were hit pretty hard. In Dallas at this hour, partly sunny skies, 86 degrees, 65% relative humidity. A light to strong east wind up to 14, 29.98. The pressure's falling. 86 in Fort Worth, 70%. It is muggy out there. Easterly winds at 10, 29.98. And again, the pressure is falling. As we take a look at our radar loop from this afternoon, not a lot was happening. A lot in southeastern Texas and south and east of Lufkin, but look what started to develop right here around the Waco area, Hillsborough County, as well as into Bosque County. Let's take a look at a close-up on the radar from Stephenville, and you can see a pretty heavy cell here. Now, Itasca is right over here, and Morgan is right here inside of Bosque County. So right between those two towns, there's some pretty heavy cells developing. There's also some cell activity around San San Angelo. So it could turn into kind of an interesting night for some of us. I think most of that activity will be to the south of the Metroplex. However, we are under a severe thunderstorm watch, and that is in effect until 11 o'clock tonight. Looking at the satellite photos, we'll also see that some of these clouds have pretty high tops on them. They have as much as 54,000 feet. We're going to change that in just a second as soon as the computer loops it over. There it is. And yet most of that activity, of course, from last night and earlier this morning, again, just covering the Metroplex area and then start to swing out. What we have is a boundary area, and we have some very warm, moist air, which runs from the Metroplex down towards San Angelo. So this cloud activity now is starting to build back up and generate some of those thunderstorms. So we'll keep a close eye on it for you. But again, just remember a severe thunderstorm watch, which means conditions are right. And right here it is from the Metroplex all the way down to Palacios. Some thunder shower activity around the area. Also a trough line out to the west of us tonight. Nothing unusual about that. We'll see one trough move through or develop and move through and see another one develop in West Texas probably by late tonight or tomorrow morning. Very warm for this time of the year. 91 in Midland, also San Angelo, 97 degrees down in San Antonio, and 98 degrees this afternoon in Austin. So overnight tonight, there comes that trough line. It'll move through. Might see a few scattered showers, but I think they'll be to the west of us for the weekend. Here's our forecast for tonight and tomorrow. Severe thunderstorm watch until 11, low 70s for tomorrow. Look for nature trying to labor to cooperate with us. 93 to 96 on the south wind, and on the 5-day forecast, just some scattered showers around and fairly pleasant temperatures. See you at 10.
Thank you, Mike.
Coming up today at Valley Ranch, the Cowboys talk about ways to round up the Redskins posse.
While football fans simply try to figure out a way to afford going to the game. Ted Dawson joins us next with Sports 4 Texas.
Peanuts.
Hey, aren't you on a diet?
Oh, man, that starts this weekend. And I'm going to be a new man this weekend.
You said that last time. Hey, bartender, one more time.
It's a true story. It happened.
Hey, excuse me, can we have another round here? Hey, we just got started.
The night's still young.
That's right, hit me again.
Yeah.
We're here to help. Call Charter Hospital of Fort Worth, where day, evening, and inpatient programs are available. If you don't get help at Charter, please get help somewhere.
Every inch of the Lexus coupe was designed to exhilarate you, even when you're not moving.
If you're going to win the big game, you got to win the individual matchups. Now let's look at this play.
Electric Avenue has permanently lowered our prices on over 750 brand name electronics and appliances throughout our store. We believe we can beat any other store's prices, as we're making this guarantee. Bring in any other store's ad. If our price for the same item isn't already lower, we'll sell you the item at the other store's price, plus give you an extra 10% of the difference.
It's great the way Electric Avenue does whatever it takes to crush their opponent.
A better way to catch your Z's is on Sealy's Posturepedic Sleep System. Designed to conform to your shape, distribute your weight evenly, comfortably. Only Sealy Posturepedic has it. So for a better night's sleep, better sleep on a Sealy.
Sealy Posturepedic, now on sale at Havert.
Good evening in sports. Stop me if you've heard this before, but there may be a break in the contract impasse between Michael Irvin and Cowboys owner Jerry Jones. And it could put the all-pro wide receiver in uniform by Monday night. Irvin's agent, Steve Endicott, told me this afternoon that he and Irvin had come up with 2 new proposals and hope to present them to Jerry Jones sometime tonight. We'll keep you posted. Meanwhile, the Cowboy players and coaches have turned their attention from their missing wide receiver to the all-too-efficient Redskin receivers. Bill Swanbeck has that story.
How do you avoid getting ripped by a rip into the posse? Showing up with a big game plan would help, and a little confidence wouldn't hurt either.
Posse more need to worry about me and my posse than me need to worry about their posse.
You're going to show up with your badge on, huh?
Yeah, I'm arresting everybody.
But they know if they don't show up with their guns blazing, things could get ugly.
Mr. Brown better not clown. Mr. Brown better shut him down.
And talk about incentive. The newest member of the posse, Heisman Trophy winner Desmond Howard, has been a part of Kenny Gant's locker ever since draft day.
Sometimes I used to come over and work out, and nobody's in the locker room. I say, hey, what's going on, Desmond? See you September 7th.
Gant is the Cowboys' special teams big hitter and will also be out there in passing situations. So bumping into Mr. Howard would make Gant rant with delight.
I just dwell on getting a hit on Desmond Howard, making a fumble, cough up the ball.
Not to harp all day on their posse, what will the Cowboys bring to the battle?
Are you a one-man posse yourself?
No, I have two other guys here with me, Alexander Wright and Kevin Martin right now. We're waiting for the other part of the posse to get in.
But that's another story. Bill Swanbeck, Sports 4 Texas.
Thanks, Bill. A study has just come out on how much it would cost an average family of 4 to attend an NFL game, and it's not cheap. If you're going to a game, buying 4 tickets, 2 beers, 4 soft drinks, 4 hot dogs, 2 souvenir caps, 2 programs, and parking, it'll cost you $164. Despite that, NFL attendance has gone up 3 straight years. Major League Baseball owners are meeting today and have just voted to ask for the resignation of Commissioner Fay Vincent. A band of owners believe that Vincent has become too powerful, and they got an 18-9 vote today. But Vincent says he won't resign. The owners need 20 votes to oust him. But after today's vote, they released a statement saying that they'll start a search for a new commissioner immediately. Martina Navratilova just minutes ago lost to Magdalena Maliva at the U.S. Open, her earliest exit since 1976. Earlier today, top-seeded Jim Courier in against Russian Andrei Chesnikov, and despite sprinkling rain that fell throughout the match, Courier, after losing the first set 6-4, blazed by Chesnikov in 4 sets, winning the last 3, 6-3, 6-3, and 6-1. See you tonight at 10 o'clock.
Thank you, Ted.
Thanks, Ted.
There's a new winner in the most popular game in the state.
We'll show you who opened the door to big bucks next.
7, 6.
I became sexually active with this guy. I never had sex unprotected. I am HIV positive.
I don't think that pot and alcohol is going to go away.
Why are your eyes red? You know, what have you been doing?
The terrifying truth is, being a teenager in America today is more dangerous than ever before.
Montel Williams, Mountain Get Out of My Way. A real look at life in America through the eyes of America's kids.
Anybody else feel the same way?
Tuesday at 9 on Channel 4.
Some stores lower the price on a pair of sneakers and jeans and call it a back-to-school sale. But at Mervyn's, we've put all kids' clothes on sale. All shirts and pants, all dresses and skirts, even all underwear. You'll save on all name brands. Bugle Boy, Levi's, Michael G, Nike, Lee, and Gecko. Mervyn's entire stock of kids' clothes is on sale now. That's what we call a back-to-school sale, but it all ends Labor Day. And remember, you will be tested on this.
A luxury car made for you in America. A car you can drive made with American pride.
The 1992 Lincoln Continental, now leased for only $499 per month, making one of the world's most advanced luxury cars, one of the easiest to afford.
Lincoln, what a luxury car should be.
Well, I'm sure glad Winn-Dixie discounts their makeup 30% every day. I saved 75 cents on this nail polish and $1.20 on this $4 lipstick. So don't hate me, because I'm cost conscious. You don't even know me. Ever been down to your last pair of pantyhose and it's a week till payday? No, sir, I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to your wife. Well, now Winn-Dixie discounts pantyhose 20% every day. I save 80 cents a pair, 40 cents a leg, 10 cents a toe. No, 8 cents a toe.
Some neighbors are angry that a call for help to local police took more than 20 minutes to answer. We'll hear what police have to say at 10 o'clock. And it's a new show aimed at men or women who want to know about men. Meet one of the stars of Middle Ages right here on Channel 4 at 10 o'clock, right after the show's 2-hour premiere. We'll see you on Night Beat.
All right, thanks, Clarice.
The Texas Lottery premiered 12 weeks ago, and the big winners are still beating the odds. Today, Jesus Amalgar of Houston became the latest $1 million lottery winner. He says he thought it was a joke when lottery officials told him he was a finalist. Now, as the winner, he thinks it's all a dream, and it is a dream come true.
Yes,
congratulations to him.
I didn't see, he threw his hat up in the air. I never saw it come down.
Well, that's our news. Thank you for joining us.
More news at the top of the hour and on Night Beat at 10 o'clock. Good night.